See, it is 7:02 p.m. on Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. We're gonna open the administrative board meeting. Roll call, please.
Yep, I have trustees Chris Samples,
Yes.
John Talbot, Jen Christensen,
Here.
Bill Motisi,
Here.
Nathan Maz,
Here.
Patrick Yarlam,
Here.
President Rick Worm,
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onavini,
Here.
Clerk Sandy Mazen here, Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie,
Here.
and Engineer Dale Hamilton.
Here.
All right, tonight on the consent agenda, we have 12 items. Here we go. Item 1. June 27th, 2023 Administrative Board Minutes. Item 2, June 6th, 2023 Committee of Committee Meeting Minutes. Item 3, May 2nd, 2023 Special Meeting of Village Board Minutes. Item 4, Bills Payable Warrant List dated July 25th, 2023 for a total of $72,314.57. Item 5, outside meeting pay for elected officials, total $100. Item 6, board and commission reappointments. Reappointment of Jennifer Maz to Planning and Zoning Commission, term ending April 30th, 2045. Reappointment of David May to Planning and Zoning Commission, term ending April 30th, 2025, and reappointment of Brett Fergie to Planning and Zoning Commission, term ending April 30th, 2024. Number 7, resolution number 23-41, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a quotation from Sherwin Industries Incorporated for purchase of Road Saver 221 crack sealer. Number 8, ordinance number 23-13, an ordinance authorizing disposal of personal property owned by the Village of Davis Junction, cell phones, printers, monitors, time clocks, and desks. Item 9, resolution number 23-42. The resolution approving and authorizing execution of commercial floor covering quote and contract from Sherwin-Williams for installation of carpet in first floor apartment 106 North Elm Street, Davis Junction, Illinois. Item 10, resolution number 23-43, a resolution authorizing participation in the ComEd Green Region Program for the Prairie Pollinator Habitat and Pond Filter Creation Project. Item 11, ordinance number 23-14, an ordinance regarding billing for water and sewer utility services, if passed, allows for emailing of the utility bill. Item 12, request for approval of change of plans for Junction Road Sidewalk Project, the fire station project, in the amount of $16,776.10. At this time, do any of the board members wish to remove any of those 12 items for further discussion?
I'd like to remove item number 3, May 2nd, 2023, special meeting of the village board minutes.
All right. Any of the other items? Entertain the first motion for the other 11.
I move to place agenda items 1, 2, and 4 through 12. Inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as a consent agenda.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to approve. To place items 1, 2, and 4 through 12 inclusively as the consent agenda. Nathan seconds. Roll call, please.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Motion passes at 7:05. Second motion.
I move to adopt items 1, 2, 4 through 12 inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedure specified in Illinois Municipal Code.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to adopt items 1, 2, and 4 through 12 inclusively as a consent agenda. Nathan seconds. Roll call, please.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Motion passes at 7:06. Need a motion and a
Nope,
second?
nope. So
Oh.
as some of you may notice, there were actually no minutes from May 2nd inside the board packet. After sending out the agenda and board pack, or as I was preparing the board packet, I realized you guys had already approved them last month, so no action needs to be taken on that item.
All right. We both.
That's okay. I thought it was 13.
I'll approve it again.
That's okay.
Just to make sure.
Which I appreciate that.
All right, so we'll move on to report of officers. Under me, I have nothing on the agenda, but today was the wonderful nuclear drill. We got to play real world scenario. Today they had the leak of vapor was the scenario. In real world, the wind was blowing straight north, so it was going right into Byron. And so we didn't do a whole lot, but we were there and get our funding for it. Sandy,
I do not have anything.
Brenda,
Yes, everybody but one person needs to do their sexual harassment training.
Hey, oh, wait, well, hold on. I'm the one who did
Wait,
it. I want all y'all to know, I'm the one who did it.
All but one person did it?
No,
Has
I'm the
not done it.
only person who's the only one that
Well,
has.
yeah, I have one person doing
And if you're taking the training in here, I'm not gonna be there for it.
I feel like that's fair.
it. I was, yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna say, so everybody needs to get it done. And I believe, I tried to send it out yesterday and it looks like that it finally went through again. So your notification to do it is there again.
I was gonna say, I did it today.
I still don't have it.
I don't see that coming from you, Brenda.
I'm not trying to escape out on this. I would have done it already because I've been really active lately. So
Safety source,
Okay.
nothing from safety source.
nothing. And I open my junk mail because it's interesting. So unless it looks really bad.
Brenda, I don't have
I junk open most of it. So
Safety source
The safety source online is where it comes from.
I'll even type it in search for you.
Today.
Thought I was the only one
Should
who
have been
didn't do it,
resent out to you.
cause I wasn't
Nope.
here. So
Otherwise it was sent out a month ago.
Will you guys most of you be completing it on your phones?
No, I did mine on my computer.
Okay, but will the rest of you, most of you be doing it on your
Just tell me where to
phone?
go. I'll do it on my knees.
I just need
Okay.
the link.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a link.
Yeah, if you can forward me a link or however it makes it convenient. I don't know, but
Text it to me on my-
Will you did, the website, so then I'll tell you the login, password.
Perfect.
I'll do that.
because I'm looking at my junk and I don't even have anything. It goes back 3 months. So
You're gonna text us then?
my trash, the junk emails.
I'll email it.
And each person has a different login and password, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so be on the
I'll do it
lookout
as
for
soon as it
Brenda.
gets to me.
Yeah. so have it.
Okay, I'm going through a program, so it's not
Right.
me.
Yeah.
No.
But the email will be you though, right?
No, it doesn't.
No,
actually
it comes
come
from safety source.
Yeah,
no,
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 but now,
What's-
yes,
Yeah.
the future email will come directly from you with the website, the login and password for each
That's what
individual
I meant,
person.
yeah.
Yes,
I'll be on the lookout for Brendan.
Can you
yes.
send me John's?
Finance, by the way.
I didn't get one.
I'll take his.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I got yours.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Oh,
Here, Brenda.
good.
I just forwarded it to Nate.
I don't think.
So
that's
you
an
can-
email.
You sent it to me twice, I only got it once, but I just forwarded it to him.
Actually, I think I tried to send it 4 or 5 times.
Right, but I only got it once, but I just forwarded my email from you to him and he got it.
You'll still get
So I just need to give me password or whatever so I can.
Alright.
Yeah.
And
new
and Bill,
email.
you got yours?
I didn't, as far as I know, I didn't see the thing there, because it has to come special,
I'll
you know.
send it to you again. Okay,
Alright.
I'll probably do that in the
I can
morning
figure that
first
out.
thing.
Okay.
There's something doing break.
Hmm.
That's all I have.
All right, on to Will Hoffman.
Okay, first project is Junction Way Street reconstruction. The design stage is at 80% complete. We're planning on having it done, but we've sort of moved our efforts to the culvert project, so that one should be coming to an end here shortly. Junction Road, Edson Road Seal Coat, tentative start date from Helm is the beginning of August. I will touch base with them next week if I haven't heard from them. Junction Road sidewalk replacement in front of fire station. Current construction costs, the total construction costs ended up being $136,370.91. Village portion was $80,333.91. Fire station portion ended up being $56,037.00. All the work has been completed except for a few punch list items. We've been in contact with them to come out and take care of the lack of seeding. There's lack of grass growing, mostly just weeds, and then the concrete splatter up onto the fire station walls.
Sir, can I just
Yes.
clarify one thing?
Yep.
The costs were the construction costs. alone.
Yes, construction costs.
All right, thanks.
And I believe pay estimate number 1 is for approval today, or is that correct? Or
It was just approved.
It was. approved, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it was. item.
okay. Let's see.
That was really changed.
Okay. Village Public Works Garage Concrete Driveway Replacement, the construction is complete. Need approval to talk about the approval of that extra costs.
Yeah, it's on John's agenda for streets. It just,
So if you'll bring it up or,
John,
okay,
or me.
Okay.
whoever you want, John.
All right, no,
okay, I just want to make sure.
who's that guy talked about this?
You know what, John? Never mind. You know,
I'm glad I'm doing this, Chris, thanks.
you can, but it's for $4.48.
Money's money.
She just
All
said
right.
no minutes.
There you go.
Buy a couple lottery tickets.
Out the village.
That's the cheapest thing we've got. More of those.
I just found that out myself. And
Hey.
kind of seems pointless, but go ahead.
Okay, and then the Junction Road Culvert Inspection Analysis Repair and Replace. The design stage is 85% complete. I just heard, actually, before I came here, I heard from our structural engineers. They're done with their preliminary set of plans for the structural. We just have to finish the road and stuff. Let's see, sidewalks. Harvest Glen subdivision plat 10 street ditch inspections. We completed the ditch inspections for 935, 936, and 937 White Birch Lane. And 198 and 200 Autumnwood Lane. And prepared inspection letters of the findings. Developer corrected the ditch and culvert slope deficiencies at 936 White Birch Lane and 198 Autumnwood Lane. All the ditches still need to be sodded. Rebuild Illinois downtowns and main streets capital grant application. This has to do with the commercial subdivision. We are preparing a traffic study report for submittal to IDOT that will justify the need for 2 entrances into the subdivision. That work is ongoing right now. And then the new project, Davis Junction Park Improvements, OSLED grant. Project cost 1.2 million, grant is $600,000 with a village match of a minimum of $600,000. Completion date 2024. Project scope is develop the 10 acres north of existing community park with new parking lot, connection paths, small dog park on the west end, small athletic field on the east end, and small shelter. Make improvements to existing community park, including new baseball diamond, relocate playground, connection paths, ADA accessible fishing pier, ADA accessible path to ball diamonds and concessions, small garage 20-foot by 20-foot, new LED lights for Diamond One, new controller for lights, new press box with concessions, pickleball courts, and new pavement along existing entrance pavement at southeast corner for additional parking area. These are all wish list items. And the final scope of work will depend on available project budget. We've started the topographic survey for the parks, and then we'll be preparing preliminary layouts and improvements for the improvements and budget cost estimates. And that's all I have.
All right. Well, the committees, Jen?
I have I don't know how many of you guys know that in 2025 is our sesquicentennial event, or we've talked about, I guess Rick and I, about having an event. He wants to have one. For our, it's 150, right? It's 150
Mhm.
years. So just, we need to have a discussion on like what type of a budget, when we want to do it,
Yes,
so.
yes. John asked this far in advance. I said,
Yes.
absolutely. I like these, we have to start, we need a plan and start
Mhm.
booking event stuff next early
Yeah.
spring.
Cause in January we'll start 2025.
Yep.
Well, I would budget for fireworks.
Oh, that's not this. thing.
You wanna be on that committee?
You wanna have 2 fire? a
We,
separate
we,
fireworks
we
or-
actually reached out to ask for
Well, I mean,
help
for
from
other
residents.
Yeah, why we-
Right,
We've
like
had
if
one one respond.
How did we reach out?
Social media.
Yes.
I'm on social media a lot and I missed that one, so
Well, that don't
I'm just
surprise
saying that there might be a better way to find help,
You wanna do it?
like a water bill
Can we put on the back? of the water-
situation, or, I mean, we get a lot of feedback from that. I'm just saying that it's a great way to get people's
Put on the back
attention.
of the water bill. Eric and I were just talking about that we need something for next month.
There you go.
Yeah, let's put on the back
How
of the
about that?
water bill. If we
Put it on
can
there, at least we'll get a
form,
few more people
like,
that,
form a committee
Yeah.
type thing.
that we're looking for committee members for a potential, obviously, a word we cannot pronounce.
150th anniversary.
50th anniversary, there you go. Something that starts with an S.
So what month would you have this in?
Hold on.
Well, then we could save money and have it the same in around July 4th and just do fireworks one. for
Wasn't it
both.
around the 10th or?
Hold on, hold on.
That would make sense.
No, hold on.
Thought it was-
Brenda and I did a little bit of looking on that.
June 12th was like the day the village started, right? I think it was like
Yes.
a Thursday.
Well, then we'll have an early fireworks show that year.
All right, let's see if I can
Wow.
pull this up over
Well,
here.
wouldn't it make sense on 150th anniversary
So
of a
June
blow up with fireworks?
12 was the day we were officially made a town, but I believe June 8th was when the documents were signed, so somewhere in here.
So if we did around the June 10th garage sale thing that we've been doing recently.
Yes, which I don't know how that's gonna work in 2025. We could go either weekend.
What day is it? 12th?
Thursday.
I think it's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday, the
Thursday.
calendar is directly behind
Oh,
you.
so you need the.
We could do the 14th.
Thursday. I looked it up.
Saturday.
Just,
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I only
I
asked for
think it's
June.
also Thursday, I looked it up.
1, 2,
'Cause then the
3,
4th is on
4,
Friday.
on Friday.
Friday.
What?
right there, you'll be one,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4,
1,
Friday.
2, 3, 4, Friday.
Oh, so the 3rd is on.
How much do we
Well,
got?
to John's idea, you could push it off a couple weeks. and just
Yeah,
have it
just do it over the
Cause you
4th.
wanna have big.
Hey, you got almost 2 years to decide.
No, how
No,
much
I
money
need a
can we
date
have?
and a budget now.
Can we spend?
$2.
I
I
think
gotta get a budget.
Jen needs to know where to go from here.
Are we having a party that no one pays for, or are we charging?
So here's my thoughts on this originally when I brought it up was that it would be for village residents. Where they could come and if we have carnival stuff. they
We're
could
checking
buy it for
IDs
free.
at the door?
However, we have to do it. I
I
don't
don't
know.
see how that's possible.
Well, I mean, people have where they live. We know where the houses are.
Well, I don't.
Anyway,
Just
let's
again,
move on.
open for ideas.
Weekend of the park used to sustain itself. The only reason it didn't sustain itself
didn't.
was my understanding is this.
It never sustained it.
It was in a negative all the time.
The village usually made donations to make it square,
Okay.
yes.
So if it took a donation from the village, is it possible that we could take another donation to the village and fund another week in the park? That just so happens to coincide with suspension,
Well, we
or
talked,
as we redeemed the 50-year or 150-year anniversary.
Patrick and I talked about that. There's some logistical issues with the village essentially running a weekend in the park. In terms of open meetings, FOIA, liquor licensing, those types of things become problematic if the village is trying to run a nonprofit event.
Okay,
We did decide that we could talk to the attorneys about possibly, if we hired a third party to run like a bar to run the entire liquor section, then maybe that might be acceptable for the village to hire that, but we would not. And then they could donate a portion of their proceeds back, but we couldn't ask them for their money, nor could we run it.
Okay.
Cause we can't run.
is this an opportunity for us to springboard what potentially could be an organization that would do a weekend in the park? So in other words, by us having this event and us teaming with a bar in the local area or someone else, is it possible that maybe if all parties agree, we see fit, that this is just the beginning to a, however they want to do that, but an opportunity anyways? to
If it could
revisit.
work out, I think
So-
that'd be great.
I mean, I don't see, I mean, just an idea, but otherwise we could, I'm fine with a bar that does the booze and then we just cater a party too, but
To your point on what killed weekend in the park was the staff killed weekend in the park. They became more about what they wanted rather than what was good for the village.
And the
As a whole.
music and the beer wasn't I mean, this is a family town. I mean, to have the parents be drinking while the kids are separated and.
When the staff was in the beer tent most of the time for the event,
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, The alcohol was.
I mean, I'm just saying that if we're ever gonna bring something like that back, this is the opportunity to spearhead or have the opportunity for that to come back. If this were to, if work well and we had enough support from the village, this is something that could be kind of a trial run.
I just want to stop this conversation, and Jen can probably speak to this as well, but as somebody who's done a lot of nonprofit work over the years and doing events like this, if you don't have alcohol, you will have a low turnout. Sorry, John.
And I'm not opposed to no alcohol, because if the village is gonna do something,
Then we don't.
strictly spitballing is. We know where the people live, we know how many people live in each house approximately, we can send out wristbands to those houses. That's all the more you're gonna have, you can send out a wristband that gets them food and drink and whatever, and the village is funding it.
Well, I would agree on the wristbands, just do a flat number per house. That way, if they want to hand out their extra 3 to somebody in Rockford, you know. Just as long as we can budget the total number of wristbands, I would agree. That makes sense.
Something that, again, we're a long ways away, but if she's after a date, we need to come up with a date.
But at the same time, we welcome everybody for the fireworks show, so the flip side is.
Well, that doesn't cost any extra, that's. Okay. Put up the fireworks, you put them up, anybody can watch them, it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, but if we have an event where we're paying for the fireworks. And let's say we have live music all day, whether it be a band or karaoke
Doesn't
or
cost any
whatever.
extra, I'm good with
What
that.
what I'm getting at is the people, yeah, then the people come and then you. I don't remember how the whole liquor license crap works up, but you have 3 bars in this town that between the 3 of them, I would think one of them or all of them. Would want to pick up or do whatever they had to do to sell their liquor.
Absolutely.
So
There's beer
therefore,
trucks and
that's a
stuff you
no,
can
that's
buy,
a-
so I mean, it's not.
that's a no cost thing there. That's a no cost thing to us
So-
too, so.
Before you volunteer them, I want you to be aware that the licensing that is needed for an event of this is not the same licensing that they hold.
But I'm sure there's.
But it's a licensing that we give out or the state gives?
Just state.
Okay.
Oh, well, then maybe that
But
won't.
there are,
That's-
there are people out there, I mean,
That have licenses.
one of our
for this.
customers actually has it's a food truck, but they have a separate truck that is actually a mobile bar.
Well, we,
They have
yeah,
licensing from the.
Can I ask a question? What does Jen want? I wanted your face over there.
I know we had also the same year, and I don't know if this is possible or whatever, but I know we had talked about Stillman Valley also celebrates their 150.
Do they?
Yes,
Didn't know.
They've already started playing.
Really?
Did it at their last meeting, they had it brought it.
Do they have a date?
I don't know if they do or not.
Didn't pay that much.
You know, I was nuts for thinking about this 2 years ago.
Who?
Well, I don't see how we would combine towns.
but if
Not to
you,
interfere, and
well,
that would be important.
Well, it's-
That's what I'm trying to look up.
Is that on, how would we?
Yeah.
do inside?
oh no,
well,
I
why don't
just,
we all think about this?
Just out of
Somebody-
curiosity.
Nice.
yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't-
1874.
Oh, are they?
So they're
they're next
gonna be
year.
next year.
Are you making a list as we talk? I mean, everyone agrees fireworks of some sort, right?
Just out of curiosity.
You're the only one who brought it up.
For sponsors.
Probably.
No.
Okay, so.
That would be probably something.
That's always the
That we could
hassle.
do.
Bad idea.
It's always the
It's actually a
hassle.
good idea.
Yeah, but it always
Um,
turns out to be a
To
hassle.
her point, date.
A date and
Can we
then,
do it the weekend of the 4th? Do it the
I,
5th?
I would. if
Cause that way
they
we
were
still get our
giving-
deal on the fireworks. It's after.
Right,
Well, then you pick.
I think
what
if
is
we
it
just
there?
brought in a bunch of food trucks and let people in the neighborhood, maybe
Here's your
we.
coupon. go get your-
Yeah, every household gets a couple
Yeah, there you
food
go.
tickets or something like that. And then with all the food trucks can be accordingly, and then it's done that way. And then if we have out of town guests, they can pay for the meals.
Absolutely.
And then that way everybody
how would
wins.
we-
The food truck still has a benefit. I'm just spitballing stuff.
Yeah,
here right
that's
now,
not
but
a-
I see
this
Jen
is an
Ryan.
opportunity. I don't know.
And that's easy to coordinate. You just throw it out there and if they don't come, they don't.
So you guys are thinking July 3rd, 4th. and
Third,
5th.
fourth.
3 days.
Well, the fifth,
so
so.
we wanna do 1 day or 2 days?
Well, we always
Or
do our
how-
fireworks on the 3rd, which is
Yeah.
a Thursday. Friday would be a weird day, being the 4th in which to do stuff. And then you have the 5th.
Why?
So it's,
The 4th of July, people are off.
they probably also have all their own parties.
Yeah, we got like graduation parties going on right about now,
Well,
that time,
it's
and
kind of an odd timing for that. purpose.
vacations from school out is.
I
it's-
have to
Thursday
ask
night,
this. I have to
yeah,
ask this
be aware.
question. What's the being opposed to fireworks twice in 1 year.
Not just expense.
What if you
Well,
just
but
had a
if you're
small
spending-
fireworks display
If you're
for the
spending
party?
$100,000 or $50,000 on this event, then
I
the
didn't
fireworks
see- I
are a
don't-
drop in the bucket of that.
That number doesn't work.
I'd really like not to spend $50,000 on this, to be honest with you. That's why
Hey.
food trucks and things of that nature kind of keep those costs down.
Let's go back to the date. That's what she's after first is the date.
If we want to turn it, I think we should do it on the weekend.
I agree with that.
I think so. too.
June 14th is my suggestion.
I think the 14th of June sounds great. It's right around the garage sale times. If we coincide with the garage sale times, I think that I'm not trying to step over what.
Sounds
everyone
good.
else.
I,
It's also the founding day.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
14th, yeah.
How much do we want to spend?
150,000.
Under, well under
Don't make me
50.
Throw something at you.
I 50, I can't even imagine I'm saying 50 right now. I'd like to keep it around 30 and find out if we can get as much support from the businesses in the area to fund the rest of it.
Yeah, but how much funding are you expecting?
With sponsors?
Sponsorships.
think-
So the beer truck's sponsored by them. We don't have to man it. They can come up with employees.
Yes, Jen?
Jen?
I think we could, I think asking for sponsors is a good idea.
Can't hurt.
Because if they are willing to like either sponsor or come in and sell their product, that's takes a lot off of us from trying to.
But when you look at sponsors, you're talking about sponsors that originate within the village or any sponsor?
Any sponsor.
Sponsor.
If Coca-Cola wants to come in and
Thank you,
Pepsi wants to
Diane.
sponsor us, I'll take that sponsorship in a heartbeat.
I think you might have.
When I was looking for food vendors, when I was looking for food vendors for the farmer's market, they all wanted, some of them would come, whatever, but some of them wanted, well, if you can guarantee I'm gonna get 100 people in my booth. Cause that's what, they will come, if people are gonna show up, they will come.
Yeah.
And then we can sell booth space that weekend. I don't know, all that other stuff that goes along. with
we
it.
could
Like,
just get
you're-
food trucks in here for the
Food trucks.
event.
We'll go back a little bit. Parks on June 14th. What do they look like?
Who you at?
Well, you look at that first.
I understand it's Nathan, but.
They're pretty good at that because we haven't started most of this stuff yet at that point. Everything's just started off, so it would be a little bit easier, I think, at that point. Other than baseball and softball stuff, pretty much the park's empty.
Yeah.
So at that time,
If
so
we-
I think that would be a great time to do it. I mean, and it would have enough time for the park to heal from everything that we do to it potentially on that weekend.
Well, we should maybe just,
Take
for
some
the
healing
sake of
steps.
hierarchy, just see what Nate Hill thinks about June 14th before we make a decision. for him.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I tell him when,
I was gonna say.
we tell him when
if-
610 is every year.
I'm just I'm just saying,
Because
if we have,
Hey
it-
Nate, I hope you like it, but hey.
Yes,
if we
Jen.
have it set, we can always work the park stuff around it too.
I'm just saying, it's just a courtesy thing.
That's typically it, as long as I notify Nate, so like when we schedule the
I was gonna
expense
ask
stuff,
you.
I just notify Nate in
That's
advance
true,
of
we
like
got
bring
hell of
and
a
he's
notice.
fine.
And we can also let the people that currently rent from us know that this weekend's gonna be a little bit
Yep.
different. And 2 year in advance, I think that's ample enough time just so they can rearrange. the
Do they have
schedule.
sports schedules that far out?
Yeah, nobody,
No,
No,
nobody.
I was gonna say that the high school would be like the fall, like
I just want to make sure we're not
next
competing with
before.
this parks packed with stuff that
you
we're
know,
trying to push.
not at
No.
all. Nate's right. That's perfect timing.
No, we have plenty of time to ample to let people
Okay, so
know.
then you're at 30
Obviously.
maximum 50, he's at 150. What are we talking for money?
That was a joke.
Hey,
Here's-
we are gonna have to put out another $600,000 for the Oslin, but by the end of 2024, so,
Yeah, we got a whole nother year to raise this money then.
Well, if we're raising it, it isn't
Right.
coming from us, so it's
And-
not a problem.
Right.
It's what's our contribution.
How many houses do we have?
I don't see how you could get away with less than 25,000
Pay for-
as our contribution,
700.
but I don't know how high I would go. I mean,
Well, effectively, what's gonna come down to is you have to decide what you want.
Right, we gotta,
We can
we gotta
decide-
figure out what
We
we
can
want
decide
first
what
within
we
the
want to put
budget.
out there,
If someone else is
For money.
supplying the beer cart and the staff, that's a major cost. That's
but
a-
if
If the food
if
trucks
we
are
can't
taken
get
care of,
We just get a band or
support,
something.
that'll give us funds to, sponsors that give us
Tear
funds to
down
do it, then
whatever
we're gonna end
you're
up paying more.
So how about this for where we are? We have a date
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna I'll ask Erica to put it on the back of the water bills for
Okay.
you. Can I just leave this on the agenda
Mhm.
for you as
Yes.
just for budget items? Because I
Yes.
realize that until you have a committee that says these are the things I want, the budget's gonna be all over the
Right,
place.
and I can reach out to contacts I've in the past to see like what they've done for major celebrations.
All right, then I'll just leave it as just budget
Yep,
for
that's
this
fine.
event. All right, and then let me know if there's something else you need me to add
Okay.
for after budget.
Just remember, family theme, this is, because I do remember if we want to talk about weekend in the park, and I know the alcohol and the Fabulous Janes and all that was just fantastic. But a lot of complaints did come in that a lot of people did not feel it was family friendly. I mean, that did come in. I mean, they didn't feel it was family
Well,
friendly.
that will be on the committee that we put together.
Cause you gotta remember, parents got kids and if they, if they wanted I like the idea of having a truck that just rolls up with the alcohol, providing you can just do that and it doesn't have to be quarantined in a certain area. That works because then parents can grab a beer, they can go to another food truck and eat, and everybody can just walk around. But when you gotta make a beer garden,
Still gotta be. It's
Yeah, it's still gotta be
quarantined.
contained.
Still gotta be fenced in.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, for most of that,
Well, that's
most of
not
that,
the
if a
part.
parent's gonna go and to be doing that at evening, then they're gonna wanna drink, then they can spend the time in the beer garden when they can and find a babysitter for them. And I assume that would, what they would do. If it's an issue for that, then, I mean, I don't know how to make it more family friendly than opportunity for people to be safe in an environment without the alcohol and then people to be safe in the area with the alcohol.
then I guess I just retract that and say we gotta have enough for everybody to be happy.
Mhm.
There you go.
The
That's a
family and the entertainment and because
Right.
if you've got 3-4 kids and.
Well, let's start a committee and we got a date, right? Like,
June
talk
14th,
about all this.
two thousand twenty-five.
It's pointless.
But I do like with a mobile truck with alcohol though, if they're just buying it on the front, you could contain the whole park to
You're
walk
getting
around with
stuck in the trees right now when we don't even know where the forest is located.
Thank you.
that.
All right, move away from alcohol.
So how,
Solve a lot of problems.
we're setting it out on the notice too, right? About that, on the thing about committee members, right?
Yes,
Perfect.
yes. I've
We'll
already,
just basically-
I already emailed Erica and asked. her to
Circle
pick
back
up-
real quick.
Yep,
And what
Nope.
Brenda
Those are the
keeps-
things we got accomplished today. all right?
Jen, do you care if I ask if they want to contact you or Rick? Can I
No,
put you in there?
that's
Okay,
fine.
Perfect.
Well, what Brenda keeps reiterating is that volunteers are gonna be the key to this.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
key because
Yeah.
I was involved in Weekend in the Park.
100%.
Volunteers, you
Yes.
need volunteers, otherwise.
I went the last 3
Otherwise,
years.
one person is what just.
It was really tough with volunteers the last.
I was saying near the end, they couldn't find.
Yeah, they was
When it
really
first
tough.
started, you had everybody doing it, but then near the end, it just kind of.
Got some newer people that live in town.
But if you put the responsibility on a corporation or a business, then they'll take care of that. We don't have to worry about it.
Still stuck in the trees.
Sorry.
All right.
Moving on.
How's it with the trees, man?
Sorry, you got something else?
Anything
Yeah.
further, Jen?
So I've been looking at the next two events, which would be it's the Halloween and the last, since COVID, I've done a drive-through. Looking for. Do I stay with a drive-through or do I go back to a party?
I thought you liked the drive-through because it was easier for you.
I did.
So. Because we've had the discussion before. You said that worked best for you.
It did. I mean, it does, but I'm just throwing it out there.
We had feedback on the community, what they,
I know, like. The numbers have dwindled down for
But is
For
that because it's a
Halloween-
drive-through or just because they?
what the party the last party we had before COVID, which was the fall of 19. The numbers were down. I mean, it was probably maybe 100 to 125. Then last year when I did the drive-through, I think I maybe had 75. I think I planned for like 150 for kids, and I think I had 75, and I brought the rest in. And you guys gave it away to the.
Can I make a suggestion or an idea? And I'm gonna regret that I'm volunteering myself for this. But what if we did the drive-through Halloween on Halloween?
Ooh,
Like I could
yeah.
sit out there on Halloween and that
Sandy
way
volunteer.
I'm volunteering myself for this.
Actually, that's a good idea.
And I mean,
A lot of
it's a
people-
Tuesday, but
It
then the
is.
kids are already dressed up.
Mhm.
I think that'll help boost your numbers and it'll start their Halloween bag, which I know you give
Right.
away as a
But-
part of it.
And I mean, and part of me was trying to figure out how I could come up with a trunk or treat,
Yeah,
but it was like, then you have to involve
others.
others.
But if you do it, like, we can even like. Village Hall could even close and go start early and then like at the fire station drive-through and then just let it pick up from there.
I think I'd change the location if you're gonna do it on Halloween, since the majority of your traffic's on that side of the tracks, do it in the 10-acre parks.
Like do a pop-up tent.
Do it, because that way you got the majority of the people, that way you could
Right.
have all foot traffic if you had to.
Right.
No drive up.
I mean, the original side of town might be disappointed, but I mean.
I mean, it's not
majority
that
of
far,
traffic-
but it's that it's still, if it was, we did it out of the 10-acre park, it's still to the point where this half of the part of the town is still walkable.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, and just an idea, because I think that's part of the issue is that no matter what day we pick,
Right.
there's always
There's
something else
something
going
going
on.
on.
And then the kids aren't as excited because it's not Halloween.
Right.
yet. But what if we did it on
And
Halloween?
I didn't think about
If
that.
it's outside in the tent area, it has snowed or been really bad
Yeah.
weather a lot of the times recently on that
And the
page.
fire station is
And-
convenient for the drive.
I'm fine with it if you're fine with it. I haven't volunteered my services for this, so.
Yeah.
You'll have less.
If you wanna stand outside, that's fine with me. So,
My suggestion would be if you do it at the park, plan it there and then if weather's bad, you know, you can change it
Convert to a drive-through at the.
Right,
fire station.
right.
due to weather, we'll do a drive.
If it's bad weather, I mean, most people are out hauling their kids
Or-
around anyway.
I don't know
Yeah.
how you tell
Why
them.
not, since
Unless it rains.
since Sandy volunteered, you could be in both locations. One of you in each location.
We good.
I mean, if you really want.
But
Yeah, but
that's-
you know
that's
what?
a
You're gonna
hot
have people go from one,
Are you
To the
volunteering?
other.
The other.
Yeah.
Well, your numbers will go
Are you
up.
volunteering, John?
No,
Uh,
You could do it at the end of the pathway at
I had to be closer to the house
Or
before I could.
Stick it between
Checking.
the driveway entrance, so walkers
wanna
can
go
walk
with
the
me?
path and drivers can come, could be on Junction.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta be there. to
Most
give
of
out
us live
candy
on
to
different
kids.
streets, why don't each of us take some and have a little table?
Want me to just have the
Nah.
golf cart drive around and hand it out at every
Yeah.
house?
Yeah,
You get 4 or
Yeah,
5.
no, but if you can find a way to make it work on Halloween, I don't typically hand out candy in my home anymore, so I'm happy to hand
I
it
think
out.
that's a good idea. to have-
I like that idea.
I'd be willing to help as long as I'm available.
Your street probably doesn't see a lot of foot traffic either.
Oh, the kids steal my candy bowl, so there's that.
well, cause you sit outside of your step.
I was trying to be nice.
What's your end?
Who needs the bowl?
He's backing up 4 kids somewhere.
I had a bowl stolen 1 year too. I'm a little salty about that myself, so.
It's been 3 years, I'm still salty.
Same type of bull he had.
Anyway, if you can do that, I'm willing to help out.
And then, I have the Christmas, the community Christmas I have set for Saturday, this, December 2nd. And I'm gonna go, for the past how many years I've been doing it like 5 to 7. I'm gonna go back to daytime hours. Cause it seems to be where you're starting to get involved with Christmas programs and stuff like that, but I think I'm gonna go back to either a 1 to 3 or a 2 to 4, to 2 to 4 on that.
All right.
All right.
That's all I have.
So for Halloween, I did tell Erica we need to start advertising for that at the mid to end of August.
yeah.
So if we can figure something out.
No, yeah, cause I'm trying to get stuff.
You know, you'll have those.
Do you
people
want me
that'll
to
say,
add that to the agenda for you for two? Just as a follow-up? So it's like-
Sure.
You know, though, you get there and people are like, well, why didn't they tell us anything about this?
I know.
Well, by the
Those
end
are
of
the
August, they
outside.
wanna know what trick or treat hours are gonna be.
Yep, which I'm assuming are the same on
Same.
Halloween, same as every year.
And it'll be on the 31st.
Yep.
Go figure. Chris,
With an emergency expenditure. Do we need a motion to approve this? then?
Yes, we do.
I'll make a motion to approve the emergency expenditure for CMJIT Solutions in the amount of $2,787.00 for the purchase and installation of server drive for space.
Second.
all right. John makes a motion to approve the emergency expenditure to CMJIT Solutions in the amount of $2,787. Chris seconds. Any discussion?
I'd like-
Just, oh,
I'd like, hold on, I'd like to say that.
They're all
you know,
stealing
I
your thunder.
normally don't consider, software to be an emergency expenditure.
But when you're upgrading stuff.
But in this case, we ran out of space
Mhm.
and Brenda possibly might not have been able to, do payroll, and I don't want any of our people to miss it.
Oh,
so.
she did stop doing payroll. We
Right, well,
moved
there you
something
go.
temporarily off of the
I
server
didn't want
to
anybody
make
to miss
her
out on a
functioning.
Paycheck, so,
But how did we get to that point without knowing it?
because we were scanning in a bunch of stuff.
So Erica has awesomely been scanning in all those property
Oh.
maintenance files, and we didn't realize how close we were getting because nobody was monitoring it before. And then all of a sudden we got there and Brenda came in one day and couldn't open up cash receipting, and we realized something was wrong.
So we're good now, though.
Well, we still only have 4 gigabytes holding us over right now, but they ordered them the
A
extra terabytes.
Terabyte, you said.
Oh, yeah, they ordered extra terabytes, but right now we're still running on 4 gigabytes of space.
Really?
4
We haven't got it
gigabytes
yet?
of space?
It used to be a lot.
Yeah, it used to be.
That's like
you
20
paid
years
hard
old.
drive.
Computers have 4 gigabytes.
Oh, yeah, no, we
Yeah,
literally
a
took
phone
something
probably, yeah.
off of the server to get enough space so we could function and hold over until the till the pieces the hardware can come in for them to come install.
But they also started writing a bunch of bloated programs that need more gigabytes to
Yeah.
work as well.
Yeah, so no,
You
we're,
scan stuff in, when you do documents.
It's a weird
you
thing we
use a
didn't
lot of
catch in the
space.
beginning.
Okay, we're still in discussion.
But, we'll take care of that. I mean, this gives us how much more? 4?
and so we're getting 2 more terabytes. Right now, we're on a 1 terabyte system, and Erica's almost done scanning in the majority of the documents, so we should only take up about another half a terabyte and then still have a terabyte and a half to still grow. We'll have plenty of room to grow.
All right.
It's what we get for being more efficient.
Roll call?
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes,
Bill.
Yes,
Motion passes 7:43.
My other thing is, to do our tax levy, and we should discuss what we're gonna do. I recommend that we just do the 5% this year. We had a bigger one last year. Did it last year? Yeah.
Yep.
So, and not like either one were a lot of money for any household, but this is basically.
And that doesn't provoke a hearing.
No,
Right.
it does not.
Nope,
Right.
Sounds good to me.
sounds good. Everybody okay with that?
Nice job, Chris.
Will that be on the consent agenda?
It will not be. So we have to have a 20-day waiting period before we can vote on it. So you guys will not see it again until the admin meeting of August.
Yeah, But that'll be a consent.
Sure.
And, I guess the question is, this is enough? I mean, in current months, it seems to be a lot of talk about that you're really concerned.
Oh, I am concerned, but you can't.
You can't
we
put it on
couldn't
that.
we couldn't raise our stuff enough to.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that I don't wanna be in a situation where like our water bill, where we haven't done anything for enough in the past 20 years. And here we are having to do something drastic all of a sudden.
Well, if our funding drops enough, you'll have to do something
I
drastic.
mean, it's inevitable that is going to happen, I would imagine.
Well,
Eventually.
That's
So,
highly possible that at some point that we'll either have to
without,
pare back what we're spending or raise our taxes in a significant way. At this point, we're not there, and I don't, what kind of increase would we need to even for people to really feel it? It would be,
We don't need to talk about that yet.
it would be just got awful ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be. You'd be looking at $150 to $200 a month,
Well, we're talking,
whatever that would.
we're
equate.
talking percentage wise.
Well, whatever that equates to.
No, percentage wise, it'd be a silly number.
Yeah, it would
be
be,
a real
it would
silly
be a
number.
like 1,500% increase to make it even. To, well, I have to do the numbers, so I shouldn't say that, but it would be significant. Last year, what was it? 30%?
I think so.
Increased it 30%, which was like $10 a household. 10 or $11 a
So to
house.
get to $150 to $200 a household, you'd have to go
Per
up.
month.
Yeah,
He's.
and that
Well,
probably
numbers
still
weren't
ain't, that probably is still ain't enough. Technically.
Right now, it's around $75 for $100,000 house.
Right. That's
For the
our,
year-
the
For the
villages.
year,
in-
that's our
right,
portion that we get.
Which is nothing compared to, if you're paying, depending on what you're considering your taxes, if you're paying $3,000 or $4,000 and.
again, which leads me back to like, if we do small increments in the interim,
But
That's
they
what-
don't make any
you
difference.
know, I know, but this 5% isn't, I mean,
I can give you the spreadsheet from.
all right, we'll discuss this offline, but I'm just
Well,
curious.
we don't do it 5% every year.
No, we did 30 last year.
Right, That's what I'm saying.
We've done 50 before, we've done 100.
Which again, as discussed,
Right.
is nowhere,
It's not. gonna
isn't
put
even
it-
a droplet of rain on the situation right now.
100%.
So that's the only reason why I'm asking them to bring these items
No,
up.
when we have to make a hard choice to go up, you know, 1,000% or whatever, then we'll, when we get to that point, we'll cross. that bridge.
It will be
Until
a
then,
deep
you're doing
spot at that
nothing
point when
but-
we make that decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Time to move.
All right, 5% moving forward.
That's my recommendation.
Anything further, Chris?
Nope,
Bill?
I don't know.
I have, there's nothing pending at, this point.
All right, thank you.
Nathan?
So sorry. I don't have anything on the agenda, but I did speak to our solar company Thursday. And I think they're going
The one
to,
with Kira and US Solar.
Kira,
Because we
US
serve
Solar?
two
Sorry,
solar companies
sorry.
up there.
the
Is
current
that the girl
company
that
that
was here?
came with us, yes, that was here the other day.
Just here.
She's ours.
She was kind of reaching out to just make sure that there's any way that there was a possibility of solar power going. And as I've stated from the get-go, to get me to be involved in something like that, there's a lot of green space and green projects that we have going on currently in the community that could help use funding, and obviously other things that like sponsorship that can be done in the park and things of that nature. But that was up to them if they want to do things. But I just want to see something in writing of whatever promises that they were going to make would be in writing. I gave a couple opportunities, i.e. like a park project and things of that nature they could sponsor. So I don't know exactly what was available, but there were some conversations that we had. I do believe in the next few weeks, we will see them here again at the table. So I just want to give you guys all a heads up. That was a conversation that I had. And then hopefully they will come back with an opportunity that works for everyone. So.
I had a conversation with her afterwards as well and told her that basically what he's looking. They have to have some sort of guidelines of what, if they make X amount of dollars,
what
they
if-
donate X amount.
Is that one of your guys' car alarms?
I didn't think mine worked.
Doesn't sound like.
Sounds like mine.
Nobody's stealing your car, John. Sit down.
My key was in my pocket, pushing up against the seat, but
Still going. There's a bunch of people at the park for football today too, so.
Sounds like it's right here, but I don't know.
Yeah, I hit it.
Nobody's stealing this car, right?
I can't imagine.
So let's honk our horns.
Yeah, I doubt. I'd like to suggest that you have them come back on the 8th August.
Fat
mine?
Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your blackish navy.
I just turned it on then.
No, it's him.
No,
that one's everybody.
Too.
That's it. We all got our panic questions pushed.
Mine-
Pressed
I
it.
don't have
Okay.
Should have been off.
Do we have a meeting August 8th?
That's you, Nathan.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm pressing it.
No, it's all Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they're flashing at?
Should have them come back. on
Some
August
people
8th.
got out of the back of that truck. I don't know what that's about.
Saying,
We should have them. Are you asking for me to put them on the agenda? Okay.
I'm suggesting that they.
So
come back on
there's
August
another
8th.
solar company coming up in August as well.
Oh, well,
The one that you guys have already approved is coming
If you
back.
can't get it to shut
Not
off.
fine. Being the one for
Yeah.
West Gravis property.
There you go.
Good lord.
We'll have them all come in on the 8th. That'd be perfect.
Okay. Are you not gonna be here?
That's correct.
That's awful nice.
I believe they're coming, they might be coming the 22nd.
I've heard enough from Solar Company.
Okay.
All right, so now Nathan's back. Back, I said, when I talked to her, I told her, I said, if you guys have if they have any kind of guidelines of what they donate by how much money they make, get that down at least.
Yeah.
To give them something that shows what you're willing to pay.
So I just said I wanted an agreement in writing of something, of the plans that they have to go going forward. I didn't want it a promise made in a conversation. So we'll see what they do when they come back. All right. So I think, pond project's going on. They started digging up those 2 feet over there. So I don't know if anyone has seen or walked by the pond, but last week they had started digging up some of the aggregate, that clay stuff liner that was on top. So they'll continue digging over there and all will be well. Other than that, the park looks great. Got it?
All right, John?
Oh, Christ, here we go. Okay, if everyone could just venture in their mind over to Golden Prairie Drive
So they can look at the
or
screen.
look at Sandy's map.
No, it's crappy pictures. though.
Well, hold on. There.
Well, anyway,
Talk about here.
the background here is there was an Fergie, you correct me if I got it wrong. There was an accident over there. Somebody got rear-ended by a car traveling on Autumn Wolf that was heading north. South. Fergie, go ahead and let us know what happened over there.
There we go. That's probably better.
Somebody was driving.
Can you use
We spoke on
Chris's
the phone
microphone?
about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what I was told, there was an individual stopped at Golden Prairie, at the stop sign at Golden Prairie. Stopped at the stop bar, went to pull forward so they could see past the tree, stopped again so they could see, and they got rear-ended because the driver behind them thought they were advancing into the intersection, but they weren't. They were stopping and slowing down again to look past the tree. That's what I was told. Good job.
Some of the things Brett and I talked about on the phone is obviously when the tree was planted there was not traffic coming from Ogle Crossing, so it's not necessarily an issue. There may or may not be a chance the tree shouldn't have been planted where it was in the first place because the house sits on a corner lot. But those things all get probably expensive if you have to tell somebody we're gonna take out your tree and there's any opposition. So Brett, correct me if I'm wrong, we were just to the agreement, the easiest thing to do if we're going to do anything would be to put up 2 more stop signs and be done with it.
Can you add
No,
this
'cause that's
view
your
too?
Uh,
Can you add this view to your conversation too? So if you're going north on Autumn Wolf towards Golden Prairie, this is your view of that stop sign.
There's also that's a large stretch without a stop sign on
It-
isn't it?
But
Yeah.
Illinois got very
No, it's not.
specific for what you can use stop signs for.
But here's the joys of all of this. Dave,
Speed is what it
Dave,
says it-
Dale,
Right, you can't.
Right, but that's
Dale.
a blind hill.
hold on. Dale looked into this and, or
No, I talked. to
someone did,
Matt.
someone did. No, it actually wasn't either one of you.
Will it-
There we go.
Justin.
Jeff
Yeah, Jeff.
did,
Yeah,
and then
talk to
sent
Jeff.
an email, and I think Matt told you that this was possibly going to come up with a conversation tonight. Nope, okay, never mind.
Go ahead.
The only thing is going north there, you do have a hill that kind of blinds you through that intersection.
Yes,
And that would justify a stop sign.
yes,
Well, it's not just a hill, I mean, there's a tree, there's a fence and the hill. All of them together make
The
it.
tree's removable, the hill's hard to remove.
yeah, this
But
you
is the
can't,
tree set back enough at this
Probably
moment?
yes, the tree is out of the right,
The branches stick out.
yeah.
Yeah.
The tree's not in the right of way,
No.
line of sight maybe,
It
but
is in the line
again,
of sight. If you actually
yeah.
stop at the stop sign, it's in the line of sight.
Oh, yeah, so this is a view from the stop bar, and then this is the view from the stop sign.
Right.
So you cannot see, but you also can't see from Autumn Wolf, but then, hold on, what's that guy's name again?
Jeff.
Jeff made this awesome drawing here that he found online, and this is the stop sign. And so this is the kind of the line of sight that those individuals would have coming to that stop sign or coming off of that stop sign. And so while it looks like it's just a tree, it's actually quite a bit of other stuff as
And they're
well.
blinded, right?
And I believe Jeff's email said that that was justifiable enough to have a three-way
Isn't that what I just
The, the direction to the south, to the right on that picture, that's the crest of that hill.
Now, do we
This
need
here?
to make that a 3-way stop or just 2? Because the people coming south to turn on to Golden Prairie or continue on.
Already had a stop sign.
Yeah, I mean. it
Yeah, but
doesn't
now
have to
you're
be,
gonna
I'm
get
just
that-
asking.
You're gonna get the guy sitting at Golden Prairie, think the other 2 stopping it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
All right,
What's Jeff's last name?
Smith.
Thank you. That way I can look up his email.
I think if you do it, you go full blown 3-way.
Yeah, that's fine. I just make sure.
I think
See,
you're
you're
putting
just-
stop signs up for safety issues only. It's nothing to do with speed.
Well, we have a
No.
ton of stop
Yeah.
signs in this.
You're not
And
living in.
this
That's
little,
ridiculous.
We do.
his email and drawings and everything, which
Oh, yeah?
constituted a
Oh.
study.
That's what he said.
Yes, see,
See, you
Study
did
is-
read
I
it.
did it. I just didn't know what we discussed. But
So
yeah,
this is-
it would constitute a study for what he did, so that would cover you also. Yes.
So
we
that's,
go okay with 3-way stop?
No,
you don't have to stop, it's just there for your pleasure.
Most people don't
Hey,
anyway.
most people don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so at least that solves the
But,
bumpity bump
you know, we have a lot of
Bob
stop
got stop
signs
sign happy.
in the town.
and
I
speed
don't, I
bumps.
don't think it's gonna help anything coming from The
Well, we
fact
know
I
that.
go through it,
Every
like
day.
multiple times a day. And I think the trees should be trimmed. That's, I just-
Does the
So-
fence get in your way?
I think
No,
what he's
just the
saying, so
tree.
even if the tree was
You're still
trimmed
gonna have the
coming
issue.
over the hill on Autumn Wolf towards Golden Prairie, you still can't see that intersection till you almost on the intersection from
I
that
guess I've
hill.
done it enough, so I've
could
been
put a
there
stop
when
sign.
people
Yeah.
come through it.
When the accident occurred, how fast was the person going?
They were
That's-
stopped.
They were stopped.
There's a wham bam, thank you.
It
So
was called somebody wasn't.
They
paying
started
attention.
going again, according to the story. They started moving again and then, but slowly because they couldn't see around the intersection and then kind of what I assume was a brake check or
Yeah.
something of that nature.
Well, they stopped again.
And then they went again and then they stopped again. And the third time they stopped, they got rear-ended or
The
whatever.
second
Second
time.
time.
Second
So they
time?
stopped at the line, couldn't see, moved forward to see, stopped again, and the person behind them thought they were going and
Oh,
ran into them.
so they're on the same
person
road.
behind
They're on the.
them was going- person behind them was
It had
going
nothing to do with the other.
No, they just thought. the
But if it
person
was a
was
three-way
going,
stop,
they
someone wouldn't be
stopped.
as cautious when they were stopping at the stop sign is the
Oh,
point.
oh, when I say
And then
believe
if
it, you'll
you,
believe
if you
it.
get in the habit of trimming the hairy tree all the time, then you always gotta come back revisit
Well,
it,
and
so.
if
But that doesn't
you-
solve the hill problem.
And it doesn't solve this
No.
other line of sight issues.
But that's the most we can do. to
North
solve it.
doesn't look so bad. South doesn't really have any issues.
But there is no other solution other than stop signs, short of regrading a road, which we're not gonna do.
No.
So the easiest and most affordable solution is to put up 2 more stop signs.
Yeah, the most cost effective for the village.
There you go.
The stop sign.
Cause if you start trimming a tree, we're always gonna be trimming the tree.
Or the homeowner's not gonna be happy with this one. We're
Tell them they have. to trim
requiring
the
them
tree.
to do so, yeah.
As much as I hate stop signs, I would say I would put them up, but that's just. me.
It's the most affordable way to go.
And I'm so tired.
Good.
It's if they're only suggestions in this town anyway.
Well, if we do that, we might as well put stop signs at every intersection.
We're pretty close.
Then we're talking about
Close.
that.
Let's remove the one by Bob's.
Do you
house.
wanna talk about the second intersection or?
Now, in the second intersection, if I got my story right from Brett at 4:30 this morning. One of our employees witnessed a car going too fast and they think we need a stop sign there now.
All over the place.
How about the person next to you?
Oh, you witnessed somebody going too
So,
fast.
you want me to talk
Yeah,
about this
go
one?
ahead.
I will.
Oh, he was fired up the other day.
So at
What was you?
Hickory and Autumnwood,
But we probably had to stop.
We used
in
to
this
have one
traffic study, it suggests a three-way stop and cars
We used-
fly down that
there. We used
road.
to have stop signs
There
there.
was one.
It was a 3-way at one point.
Well, I suggest it goes back to one, because cars, they come from Junction Road and they come down and you got that gap in the houses and people just pick up speed through there. Going both directions.
As long as the traffic study supports it, because you can't, again, we said earlier, you can't use stop signs for.
Yeah, we're
speed
using stop
Right,
signs.
I know you can't use it for that, and I know people don't stop at stop signs.
Slow
But
them down a little bit.
it'll help slow them down. That's a long stretch of road that people.
There used to be the speed bump, but we had the speed bump on a curve, which is a really
Yeah.
bad spot.
Did we have a traffic study before that would just support putting those back up
Yes.
then?
In 2018.
Would that one be good?
There was a
Bob,
2018
there's no reason to
traffic
be there.
study. You have to look at it. It's in the packet.
So the
Yeah,
twenty
it's
eighteen traffic,
2019, I think it says.
What my question is, can we use that to put the signs back up without any?
You have to
pen-
see if it- let's-
We're asking the guy that knows, Chris.
He
All right.
doesn't know.
He's gonna talk to Mr. Smith.
can you ask him
Yes.
and find out? But I also, in reading the traffic study, I read it differently than you do. I read it as if, because we had a previous trustee that went through town and just put all the stop signs out there without any traffic study. And so I think that first drawing is where all the stop signs were originally placed. And then the approval one is the last document in there.
But-
And I don't think that it recommended one. But that being said, Fergie and I had a conversation about there's a speed.
What about
bump.
moving the speed hump?
Yeah, and so the speed hump is further down on Autumnwood. And so what about taking that one out and moving it down closer
Below the
to
hill?
that?
There was the point of having one like
Because the
the
speed
stretch,
bump,
right where the drainage goes through.
Yeah, here's.
We had one
That's
there.
one left. There was one down there, but the problem was it was close to that curve. And you could make people lose traction was the thought.
You're not gonna stop. You're not gonna slow people down.
But didn't we also have the thing out there that
Stop
measured
signs.
the speed that actually the stop sign, didn't we have stop signs
Speed
with the
humps
speed
slow.
thing and it showed
Speed
that they
humps
still
slow.
didn't slow down, even with the stop?
Ask the lady from local crossing that comes in all the time. Tell
But
her
if
that-
Mr. Smith could get back to us, that'd be great.
If you're gonna do the speed hump there, you'd have to do it in the straightaway.
I find that that's a more costly choice though, too.
We already got the speed hump.
Then
But I mean, then you go to, how is snow plowing speed humps?
Well, we have to do it anyway, so
But if we
What's
have one
another
less obstacle, I mean.
whether we
One
want
less
to
wear
do
and
one
tear.
further down and just
Stop
add one
signs
or.
cheaper than speed hump, I'm sure.
Yes.
Or moving one for that matter, yeah.
Well, is it?
But can't we just-
Are you just gonna trade one speed zone for another by moving it?
Can
That's
you
true.
ask Mr. Smith that question and then let me and Fergie and John know?
Yep.
And then we can bring it back to the board again for discussion.
Yeah,
Because I understand,
because there's no sense to talk about it if we
I
can't.
think what Sandy said is right, the original speeds, the original thing that happened, is Bob came through, decided where he wanted all the stop signs, they were all put in by some kind of miracle, and later on, we actually did a speed study to find out where they were
Well,
Yeah.
we had our,
justified.
we had our hand forced, we had our hand
So
forced on the
here's-
speed study, remember?
This is Exhibit A, which is where the stop signs
remember what
were
happened?
installed, and you can see there was one installed there.
Yeah.
You can see that was a three-way.
Didn't somebody
stop.
like get a
But
ticket and then
here
challenge?
is the final approval of them, and you can see that it was not recommended that that be a three-way.
It's a long stretch of road.
But I think it was the
Yeah.
curb that
Else
slowed
in
them.
this neighborhood,
Yeah,
especially for one of the main roads in and out.
yeah, because there's even a stop over here.
So can we figure out why they recommended not doing one? Must have been a good must have been a reason why we didn't.
Get more facts, we'll go from there.
Yep.
Think we have a plan?
I don't know if Dale knew that he'd leave here with homework.
He's just passing it along.
Pass it on.
Hey, look, and Mr. Smith
Yeah,
did
see,
this
there,
original
Mr. Smith-
Mr.
study.
Smith's gonna be the one that's gonna
That's his
be.
name.
Yep, so he did the original study too, so if you could ask him to pull that knowledge.
That doesn't even look like his name.
All right. And then Brett, you wanna just take B? Since I haven't been batting very well tonight.
The $4.48.
yeah,
You okay with that, Brett?
Hold on, can we back up? The stop sign intersection for Golden Prairie and Autumn Wolf. I will prepare something similar to what you guys saw in your board packet with a resolution approving that stop sign with the appropriate
Stop sign.
email printed out as proof that we have a study done. So nobody's installing a stop sign yet. We're gonna have to vote on it as a resolution at the regular meeting.
Brett,
Okay,
are you in
there.
stock with stop signs?
I believe we have a handful in there. If not, no. never mind.
He's got some time.
Should have the ones we were telling Hickory, right?
I would think.
Wait.
John, just curious, do you need to make the motion and prove?
Do we have to
second
make
so
a
we go
motion?
into Discussion or no?
Yeah, go
Right.
motion second
Go
discussion.
for it.
For the $4?
Yep, except for 20,000.
I make a motion to the approval of the change order for maintenance garage driveway project for additional work in the amount not to exceed $20,000.
Second.
John makes a motion to approve change order for the maintenance garage driveway project not to exceed $20,000. Nathan seconds. Discussion.
The amount was, Brett?
Came to $4.84, 48
48.
Is
cents.
there any objections to spending an additional $4.48?
We'll find out here in a moment. Any further discussion?
Does anybody for the record want to know what this is for?
I was gonna say, if
Yeah.
anybody wants to know what it's for, I'll explain it.
For the pub-
Then go
The
for it.
public would like to know.
Basically, this was our shop project, and if I say anything wrong, Dale, please correct me. This was for our shop, the new concrete that we did. Same situation as the fire station, poured it out, ended up with some soft spots, we had to do some undercuts. And then ended up having the old whistle tube going under the driveway was kind of stuck in, there was like 3 layers of material up there. So the pipe was kind of rotted and damaged during the removal, so, it was for the new whistle tube under the driveway, so. Basically what it was.
Thank you, Brett.
Who's it cheap? Listen to.
Very.
We need more of those.
$4.20.
No, the truth is, we had savings with some of the quantities, so they offset what we had. And it came out to be almost a wash. which is, let's go. and then I'll
All right.
bring up my point.
Roll call.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes,
Bill,
Yes,
John,
Yeah.
Nathan.
Yes.
Pass at 8:06.
That's all I have, Rick.
Sorry, well, I'm not on streets, I do have something I'd like to say about streets. Sorry, not just streets, but, when we do, approvals for projects, I was under the impression that we put in a contingency and that the contingency was part of the approval, is that the case? Sandy?
We approve whatever is the bid on the project.
Well, we probably should look at approving a contingency to whatever the bid was, because there are points within the projects where you can't stop the project if there's an issue that has to be, such as the undercuts. We couldn't ask either N-Trax or, Stenstrom to stop to do, for the board to approve undercuts. Like, when we should probably have a contingency built into the projects. So when I became the streets trustee back in 2019, every project had a contingency on it, and I approved changes within the contingency amount that would never came before them. And I thought that's because when we were approving the project amount with the contingency built in from Willett Hoffman, that was acceptable. If that's not part of it, then we need to put a contingency, 10% contingency on the projects. So that the person who's running it, John in this case, or maybe something for Parks, for Nathan, or whatever, or Patrick, if he does it.
So every single one of your approvals has come before this board, because otherwise Brenda could not pay out on them. And so while
After
you,
the fact,
after the fact, so
Alright.
while you might have approved it, I don't think that anything that you approved was so egregious that it wasn't done as an emergency expenditure basis or based on something, because Rick can't sign anything and nobody can be paid unless this
I
comes
don't
before
think
this
it's
board.
ever, an emergency expenditure, well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but for the most part, they were normal transactions.
Yeah,
But-
and they probably were just
And I'm not
approved
saying
after the
that
fact.
They still shouldn't come before the board
Yeah.
to be approved. I'm just saying that the person should have. John or Patrick or Nathan should have the ability to approve something that. Has to be done. Because you can't hold up Stenstrom or N-Trax from completing the project. It would have cost us more if we asked them to stop and remobilize.
I think given the amounts, I'm more comfortable with the way this goes to coming to the board for the approval. Otherwise, I think you just open yourself up.
But even at that, Chris, if it was something that was.
We could go around the
decided,
horn
if it
real
doesn't need to be decided right away, we have the approval process in place.
Yeah, and
It's
like,
the approval process, because I could only approve it now.
Emergency expenditure.
Yeah, right.
Which doesn't take the board.
What's that?
Which doesn't take the board until later.
Right, but the actual changes for the fire station portion, which.
that
most
was
of
an
it-
anomaly though, because we were picking up the cost of somebody else's work.
This doesn't happen that much.
It doesn't happen that often, and in this scenario, it was $4. Had we
Not
had
then.
we had,
for the fire station, it was
Yeah.
$4.
Right.
No.
And it just so happened that the other one was only $4, but could have been 20.
so had we not been doing the village, or had we not been doing the fire stations portion of the project, our portion would have been under your spending limit, under the emergency policy. And so we wouldn't have needed it. And we've done this for years that way,
Haven't had any
and
trouble.
we've never had any
Well,
problems.
then that's because somebody's sticking their neck out.
I think that there's just a general consensus as to what needs to be done. And so like the Stenstrom one, I didn't know about it till after it had been
To me,
completed.
it won't matter to me because I'm not gonna be doing it
Yeah.
anymore. But I would have been more comfortable knowing that I could do the change order as part of a contingency, which isn't a lot of money. And I would only be making the change if it was absolutely necessary. Anything that could wait, I would wait and get approval.
Well,
That's-
we all
do it-
have up
do it any
to,
way you want. I'm saying if I was still doing it, I would feel comfortable.
Then maybe what we need to address is not the not the approval process of the contingency, maybe we need to address that we need to raise our emergency expenditure number due to the cost of things over the years and projects that have increased. So our $10,000 has been that way since I joined the board. So maybe that's what needs to change so that our
That
emergency
would be-
expenditure
That
can
would be fine.
match what our projects we're doing now.
I'm gonna get you out of the three people that are authorized to approve that emergency expenditure and away it goes. You're that
Yeah.
fast.
And
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
25,000 probably be a better
Put
number
that cap
nowadays.
south.
Because it'd be a lot easier getting two people.
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
To do it than it would be to try to get the entire board. So. if
So
we
let's
could
get
raise-
this-
At some point, raise that to.
On a voting meeting?
Yeah, do you,
Right.
well, just tell me what you want. I'll draft an ordinance. Tell me what dollar amount you want.
Let's do 25.
So
I'd be comfortable with 25, dude. If that is
Change it.
reasonable.
Okay.
It's that simple, just to change.
It is. We put that cap on ourselves.
We do
yeah.
it for ourselves.
That
20
itself
25
might
sounds like
be
a very
us.
comfortable
Well,
number to make it work now, so.
If we,
Do we need to raise Rick's them? Is that equal to Rick's?
No, his is still, so the 2,500 is all of us and
All
then
of us,
the 25,000 would
So
be
understand that
just be
25
policy
Just so you
only.
guys, look, I don't know if you guys know, but that 2,500 is also self-imposed.
Yeah,
According to the state of Illinois, we can spend as much money as we want. We impose that upon ourselves to kind of keep ourselves in check to the board.
Still requires
the
approval.
emergency expenditures is another way to make sure that village money is being spent on village projects and.
I mean, it still has to go through approval afterwards anyways, so it's not like it's not going unnoticed or
Exactly.
not checked.
and
So,
the emergency process requires two people
Mhm.
to do it anyway, so it's not a one person, it's not a one person, and actually. I
We just
believe
put
it-
checks and balances on ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah, and I actually think it might be finance president and the treasurer, so I think it's actually three people have to be notified prior to the.
But it's
spending
only
of
two
it.
of those three.
Two of the three.
Yeah, have to be,
So-
have to have.
Be a lot of times it's-
if
Yeah.
I could, Brett, you're comfortable with that, right? Because generally speaking for myself, I'm gonna be working off your recommendations. Are you comfortable with that as well? Making the recommendation that we're gonna base the extra money on your recommendation. You're comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I think we need to include Brett, because he's gonna be the guy I'm gonna say, is this what we need to do? And he's gonna say, yes, I've been. So I mean, I think he needs to be comfortable with, even though he doesn't vote on it, I still think he needs to be comfortable with it. Because he's where I'm gonna get my recommendation. He's probably where Nate's gonna get his recommendation, and same with Chris.
Where the expenditure probably came from, so.
Well, I'm saying, I wanna make sure he's comfortable with it too.
Patrick.
Or Patrick, sorry, Chris.
We'll get there.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna say is the 10,000, so we're going to 25 because that's not a bad idea because.
Yeah.
With everything increased, especially when it comes to water and sewer emergencies, there is nothing cheap
No.
about
No.
those.
No.
Nothing.
Well, even our self-imposed number, we used to be at $1,500 self-imposed and we couldn't even buy a home.
1,000 when
Which
I
makes
first
sense
started.
40 years ago, but
1,000 when I first started.
So it was-
today
it
that
was-
doesn't make sense.
Only
but-
five.
But
Yeah.
it's, you know, when you.
But I'm just,
When you had the Rita Cromwells of the world, we had this self-imposed even before that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's
we've
all I
been
had.
very conscious of village money for a long time.
I'm done.
Okay. Patrick,
Hold on. Where's your cell phone? I added more to your motion. All right, when you say your motion, at the end of it, I need you to say now known as Pace Analytical Services.
is as what?
Now known as
Oh,
Pace
yeah.
Analytical. They changed their name. PDC changed, got bought out by Pace Analytical, and I didn't update my resolution heading.
Pace, PAC?
Yep,
Can I just say PAC?
yep.
Okay.
Or PAS,
Oh, yeah, PAS.
yep.
Do we gotta talk about it or just make the motion?
Motion first.
Motion's like.
All right. So I'd like to make a motion to pass resolution number 23-44, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of laboratory professional services agreement with PDC Laboratories Incorporated, now known as PAS.
Second.
Patrick makes a motion to approve resolution number 23-44. John seconds. Is there any discussion on that resolution?
This is the
That is
same
for our-
person
that is
that
for our
we've
water
been
testing?
using, right?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
is this guard dog, Sandy?
Yes.
This is a regular person that we've been using.
Yes,
Yeah.
So when they got bought out last year, they didn't require an agreement. So you guys actually didn't see this last year. And then all of a sudden this year, they were like, hey, we're doing these agreements again. So that's why you haven't seen this in 2 years.
It's our more routine test.
Yeah. It's the same thing we've been, as long as I've been with the
do.
village.
Did they say why they changed their name and?
They got bought out. New company. Same services. Hmm.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill.
Yeah.
John, Nathan,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Motion passes at 8:17.
No, you-
Anything further, Patrick?
No, it's it.
Okay, everything's flowing like it should,
As far as I know.
all the race cars? Anything on economic development? Other than we don't have an agreement with the state yet. They're gonna drag that out as far as they can.
Yeah, but there was no, Matt didn't give you any hints on that agreement. They awarded it almost a year ago. and We still haven't seen our agreement. Okay.
It is, they want us to spend the money by next year and,
They better spend that then.
they're limiting our ability to do it.
Yep.
Anything on unfinished business?
Verizon contacted Sandy.
Again?
Yeah, to extend their lease.
Change the leaks.
And I get, like, I haven't find it again here. I just had it.
Where they want to change.
They want to extend their lease.
Yeah, we talked about that briefly last week. didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I mentioned that I had received it and
Yeah.
finally got around to sending it on to Chris and Jen.
Okay, so this is the talk about it,
Well.
Details?
wait,
or lack thereof.
Before we consider engaging the attorneys at all, we should probably discuss what the lease says.
Would you like me to send you our current lease?
No, I have it, like I said, for fun. Oh, yeah, our current. lease,
Yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
would you,
But that's, I'm
Jen?
gonna talk about the one, what they want. We can ask Brenda about specifics of the current lease, right? Then.
The amounts.
The amount.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The lease
That's all.
terms is not.
Yeah, Sadie's the contract person, I am the.
Words,
I-
numbers.
Yeah.
Well, Sandy forwarded us the proposal that came from somebody from Verizon, which apparently doesn't communicate with the other people from Verizon. Because it is pretty generic and they just said, basically say dear landlord and go on to say they'd like to do a long-term lease and the criteria for the cell site retention for our long-term lease for the water tower to be new rent amount of $1,500 per month commencing on October 1st, 2023, and a new rent escalator of 5% every 5 years. Next increase on October 1st, 2028. So after 5 years, you get 5% more than the 1,500. And then every 5 years, you would get 5% more for an additional renewal term of 5-year terms. So they want us to renew their lease for 25 years. At $1,500 a month and 5% increases every 5 years. How much do we get now?
We get $1,844.
So they would go less?
That would be the idea, which isn't even the worst
We have
part.
the escalators too.
Right.
I got
We
current.
put a
How
little
many
clause
years?
in there says if they don't meet our requirements this time, that we can just go in and shut it off.
Actually,
Then we have to.
it
talk to
gets worse
Dan.
than that because they basically wanna put a thing in there that, put language in there that says that they can come in and do whatever they want, whenever they want.
No,
You'd have to read it.
They haven't made good on the first agreement that they've made with us, and they've ignored us for as many years as they have. I don't see
That's
any
first
point of renewing a lease with them until they, in writing, and very clearly state something. And I don't know why we would get in a long-term contract like that with them at all.
No, that's why I'm bringing it
No,
to
no.
the board, because personally, giving us less money. Asking us to extend it 25 years and giving them unfettered access
No.
where you basically can't, you have to read the language.
Will there be an attorney at our meeting anytime? soon?
They,
Well, he
they,
would have come tonight, but I told him, why bother, because.
Will he be at the regular?
We can ask him to come whenever.
Yeah, he would have come tonight, I just saw no point in it. What would be the point in having the attorney come to tell us that this is a crap deal.
Our attorney
Well,
or
I'm
their
not-
attorney?
No,
Oh, yeah, I don't need to see our attorney.
Well, then whether he's here or not, I guess,
Being that they're reaching out for a new lease, I think it's an opportunity. If we're gonna respond to them, we respond to them with
With what we
something
want.
legal.
Right.
what we want, exactly. And if they don't want it, then their lease expires.
Right.
And we
But
can part
when
ways.
exactly does their current lease expire?
Like when we agree.
But,
Just send it to me, I'll look at it.
but Chris, what I'm
wanna
getting,
know.
what I'm getting at, and we can all sit here and think we're the king of the hill and we're just gonna push their antennas off the tower. It isn't gonna work that way. It hasn't worked that way.
But you don't have to extend their lease.
No, I get that, but what are you gonna do in the event they just say, okay?
There's residents that have already complained about it. There's Lisa stuff that they've done that they didn't. do.
But
There
you're
was
not
just in a
following
contract.
me. I'm not gonna spend
some
tens of
point,
thousands of
They have to
dollars.
take their
to-
stuff. and-
Right, yeah.
Their lease expires, John, they can't just extend it on their own.
I get that, but I mean, it's just not as simple as just flipping their switch off.
No, it's as simple as.
That's why I say-
their request
I would
to
like that
extend
clause,
their
though.
lease.
Yeah. Well, what I'm getting at is I think this is something where it's easy to say we think we deserve more money above and beyond what we're getting.
It's not about the money.
It's about doing what they
And
said
the
they were gonna do in a
terms-
contract beforehand.
It's about communication.
No, to me, it's not about the money. You know, whether we get $1,500 or $1,800 a month is, to me, is right here. But the fact that they never lived up to the contract or the agreement we made in the first place, why would I want to go ahead and extend with somebody who basically ignored every request we've ever made?
I think it
Exactly.
gets
I
expensive.
agree with you
either.
100%.
What's that?
It would get expensive if we have to go the other.
It doesn't get expensive because we just end our lease.
How is it gonna get expensive?
When the time
if
ends.
You don't renew their lease.
So, okay, you don't renew their lease and they don't get their antennas off for 2 years.
No, it might be longer. I don't know if they wanna extend a long-term lease so that it, apparently October, why is October 1st, 2023 as of significance here?
That's probably when it expired.
I think
Well, if
it's,
that's the case, then they have to.
I think it's a little bit before their expiration, so they have enough time to do everything without.
I'm not
hiccup.
disagreeing with
Yeah,
what you're
without
saying,
that, I think so.
but what I'm just saying is, well, a legal opinion would be how this would draw out in the event they just keep their stuff up there and keep doing what they're doing.
They
The
can't.
initial one is, okay, so we signed it.
You
and
can't just turn their stuff off. You can't
We-
just take their stuff down.
No.
There's a
They can't.
decommission
Okay,
timeline.
Sandy,
Go ahead, Nate.
I
None
should
of
have got, I'm gonna make that my audio on my phone now. So we signed the lease in October of 2015 for a 5-year term. But it has an automatic renewal clause. That's what I was trying to figure out, is for how long it automatically renews for. And so that October 2023 date must be when it must be relevant to the automatic renewals.
Let's find out what our
It
requirements are.
doesn't matter if it has an automatic renewal at the same cost or same price that we're getting. Why would we renew?
Okay,
we
so
will.
this agreement shall automatically be extended for 4 additional 5-year terms, each a renewal term. So in 2020, October of 2020, it would have renewed for another 5-year term. So our current lease is until October of 2025.
Right.
How does it not auto renew?
So they're just sending you that because they want to change the
So
amount
we'd have let them know
Because they
180
extend
days
it out
before
to-
next October.
and change the amount.
That we want
Yeah.
their.
And get themselves unfettered.
So we're better
We're
off,
ending our lease.
we're better off with this.
2 years, sorry.
Not even doing. it.
I didn't look at that.
So they're trying to extend it even longer and pay less. So you just
And
keep,
get unfettered.
so you
access.
just keep with
But,
this.
but with that notification, though, it gives us the opportunity that if it ends in October of 25 at the end of this lease, we can send them a notification. At
Every
least
year?
180 days in advance,
Every year?
saying, say that we're going to end.
That if we cannot
end the
agree
lease.
upon a new lease information that the other lease, we were no longer honoring the other.
Right.
lease.
If it started in 2015 and there are
Okay.
5-5-year terms, that
Yes.
is in 2025.
That
Yes,
is
it would.
twenty
Automatically
twenty-five.
renews.
3-year terms?
Sandy's
Is it
always-
5 3-year terms or
No.
5-5-year terms?
4
4
5-year
So
terms.
it's 20 years, 2050, okay. that's
It's
right.
25 years, so it's a 5-year initial term
Plus 20.
and up to 4 additional 5-year automatic terms.
They wanna do on there.
This is
So
the same.
it's 25 total years. We are 8 years into it.
We should make it stop,
And
Nate.
she said
Right.
increase
To say.
percent and.
Listen, those
I
are
don't
gonna be
think-
all my rainbows from now on.
So,
Somewhere around March, before March of next year, we need to send, or March of the following year, we need to send out a notification to them that we don't want their release to renew. And 25.
That's an option?
Yes,
Oh, all right, then that's what.
So they were just trying to extend it and lower it then.
Right.
They must
Well,
think
that's
we're
all they want.
stupid.
So they wanted a lower price and extension and unfettered access.
So I
They
think
must really
definitely
think we're
We'll reach out to them and say, we're actually gonna end your lease in 2025, not extend your lease.
Yeah.
Because you've never met the terms of the lease in the first place.
And you don't communicate.
Right, so at least give them a reason, give them a chance.
I would let them know all our problems and the end of agreement, say that we can't come to a new resolution and you fix the things in the past, and I don't see the point.
And nobody wants to communicate with us.
We finally have something we can use against them.
Well, just something that we have a bargaining tool now. Get some things done that was supposed to be done originally.
so annual termination is notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained herein. Provided leasing is not a default hereunder, leasing shall have the right to terminate this agreement. After the expiration of the first renewal term, provided that 3 months prior notice is given to the lessor and lessee shall pay lessor an amount equal to 6 months. So that's them terminating, correct? Cause they're the
Can you
lessee.
send me it so I
Yeah.
can read it over?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna listen to Sam.
I'm sure there's a termination clause in there that because of the,
that's
I haven't been done at this point that we
that's
can.
them terminating. You'll have to give us 3 months notice to terminate from us.
Feel free.
But we need 180 or more.
Hold on, let me go back. I don't know that I can answer that one, because of course it would not easily be accessible.
Anyway, send it, Chris can go through it.
Yep,
If you find it, send it out to the board,
yep.
because if we have that option, I think it's something we should exercise.
I would totally agree with that.
Been way too long.
And put it, and then they can, we'll see if they actually respond to something after that.
Especially send it to the people that are looking to renew it, that are actually trying to communicate.
People that are gonna make something happen, hopefully. At least what the last contract said.
Yeah, you think.
I agree with you, one side doesn't know what the other side's doing.
Well, you know, they told us, they said that they had an attorney sit in here and tell us that they would address our stuff and nobody ever did.
Nope.
That's been how long? 2
Years.
years, 3 years?
It's been a while.
Longer than that.
It's been a long time.
Well, you were on.
2015.
All right, so
2015.
we have direction on that?
Oh, no,
We haven't
come
put that
in
other
since-
stuff yet.
No, they came in since I was elected in
Yes.
2019.
Yes, it sounds like Chris is gonna do more homework and come back.
Thank you.
All right,
Right, I just wanted you to know what the proposal was, that's all. And it
that's
was-
pretty poor
We
proposal.
should actually send a letter to send this letter to all the trustees so that they can all read it. I mean, the language at the bottom is what concerns me anyway. No, well, the.
No,
That's why
you've been given the
Why does
direction of
something-
the village board to
That's
deal with
fine,
this and come back and
fine.
bring proposals.
The language at the bottom.
It's a 2-person decision, not a 7.
All right. Okay.
Well, 7.
Just like that. Anything further on unfinished business?
No public?
Public,
Nope, no public tonight.
no public.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
John makes a motion to adjourn. Who seconded?
Chris.
Chris seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We're adjourned at 8:30.
It makes.